We are going to see that what specialization should be chosen while doing a management program. Is it a MBA or a PGDM or a PGPM? Hardly matters. But what we should choose actually, which specialization we should choose for completing it. So, and this is a very vital question. Each and every individual who does an MBA faces this. I too had actually faced when was doing my MBA, and finally I ended up taking up two specializations, and then I took it forward. I missed one of my area which I could have added into my dual specialization. But anyways, that's how it goes on, and this is how you experience that things go wrong. You have to make it right, and then you have to move ahead. So while choosing specialization, so broadly, if I can speak it out, the specialization which are available in the markets are marketing, finance, human resource, IT, operations, and international business. You can have any other variant of the given specialization, but more or less, if it is a dual specialization, you will be choosing two core subjects and 3-4 papers from one and 2-3 papers from other, making it 7-8 papers in all. And if it is not a dual specialization, you will be choosing all 6 to 7 papers from a single specialization, maybe it marketing, finance, HR, IT, or operation, whatever it may be. So, irrespective of the fact that whatever specialization you choose, all has same value, because one question which is very common in the minds of aspirant, that which specialization I should choose where I will get the maximum percentage in my bank account. I mean the placement aspect, so which will give me more money and a better opportunity. So let me be very clear that any of the specialization you choose, all are capable of giving you good salary, and all are like backbone of a company. So marketing is dependent on finance. Finance is dependent on marketing. If marketing will not work, people will not come. What will human resource do? If marketing bring people, human resource does not manage it, it will go down. If marketing wants to bring people, if do not have a finance people in place, how they will be arranging the money for it. If everything comes into picture, if things have to be arranged, you need an IT system. So IT system backs up the entire stuff. And if it is a supply chain kind of thing, you need an operation people to manage the whole supply chain system. And if you are dealing with the international countries, I mean out of India, you need an IB people to come into picture to deal such international business and understand the concept and economies of international environment. So each and every specialization is important. The point you need to understand that which suits you better. There are a lot of psychometric tests which are available, which you can take to actually understand that which specialization you can do good at. But more or less, it's up to you to understand that which one will suit you, and it will depend on major factors. So the factor which actually I am missing the slide. So the factor which actually are important is your interest, number one. Number two is your experience. And number three is your background. So what you are studying. If you are studying finance throughout and you are going to take human resource, or you are going to take IT, it will not make sense. So if you are studying BCom, it makes sense to take finance. If you are studying BBA, it makes sense to go for marketing or HR. If you are studying a BTech, it makes sense to go for IT or maybe marketing. There is a choice while you're doing a BTech. If you do a BCA, you have a choice into marketing or IT or a human resource or maybe operation also. That is how it goes on. So a lot of thing will depend on background. If you're a fresher, obviously your undergraduate course will help you decide that what you want to do, which specialization you take, and then you can take it forward. So let us broadly see. Marketing management is all about sales of product and making that sale to happen. I mean branding kind of thing, which is marketing deals with. And if you want to get into marketing, the inner requirement are that you should have a very good skills. Communication skills should be very, very good. Interpersonal skill, dealing with people, handling people should be very good, because you need to meet a lot of people and you need to convince them about your product. So you definitely need a good interpersonal skills. You should be presentable, and you should actually love to be presentable. So there are people who dress but they are not presentable. So you should be presentable and you should love dressing it. And the most important is negotiating and art of selling is something which you should have And if you are having a good communication skill, art of selling comes with practice. So you should learn this art of selling kind of thing, which you will do in MBA and in an initial period of your experience while you're doing marketing. So that is what, if you are actually you having this an interest fear of marketing, you can actually go for it and choose this and choose this. And then second is, what are the roles that actually is there into marketing. So the roles which are there, which you will get, is like marketing manager, sales manager, maybe marketing analyst, marketing researcher, business analyst, social advertising executives, sales architect, social media manager, digital marketing manager is a new area which is actually coming in a broader way, and everything is going social and digital, and you need people who can actually manage these huge digital activities. So and digital spaces as such, where if you are having less interpersonal skill, that will do, because you do not meet people directly, so you need to manage it on the internet space using Google and Facebook and other such different social medias. So this is what marketing management is all about. I hope you got an idea when you can be interested into marketing management. Second is the finance part. The finance basically deals with the finance, or with the management of the money of a company. So because it's a very important subsidiary, because if you don't have a money, or a company does not have a money, I mean, what marketing will do and what HR and IT will do. So marketing, so what finance does is it tries to manage the money. So it rotates the money, it gets the money from some different sources, it utilizes the money. So number crunching and mathematics is something you should be very good at if you are actually willing to go for finance people. So the ideal people who can do finance would be like a person who has done a BCom or BTech people, because their maths and numbers crunching are very good. BSc people can also do if they are actually interested into these financial concepts. Other people should ensure that their number crunching ability is pretty good, and then only they should try to get into finance, because finance involves a lot of number crunching. And analytics is a part of finance. I mean, you also need a lot of analytical skill while you actually do a finance program. So ensure that you have these inner capability if you actually want to get into finance domain. So the career in finance, very decent. You can go into investment banking, it's a very hot career. You can go into merchant banking, financial consultancies. A lot of financial institutions are there who will, there are a lot of startups which are coming up into financial domain which can hire you. Corporate finance is there, and obviously the international finance is something which is a very bigger domain if you actually want to get into. The roles which you will get, I mean, it's clear: finance manager, financial analyst. It could be a financial advisor, account manager, credit manager. You could be a finance management consultant, insurance manager, and risk manager extra. Risk manager obviously needs a lot of more study in insurance aspect and all. And then you can get into this kind of specialization thing. Mind you, MBA is not the final destination into finance. If you want to get into financial domain, after MBA, you have to do few other certification which will make you more gettable into that particular role which you are actually willing to go forward in. Then come human resource, a very important domain wherein you basically manage people. So HR people manages the people of a company. Marketing can bring business, finance can arrange money, but the people has to be managed to be productive, either by way of giving salary, first hiring the best people, then giving them good salary, then nurturing them, then retaining them. I mean, you need to create a good environment in a company by having different activities where the involvement of the people goes beyond the official work, and so they feel like a homely place to work in. So a human resource manager does a lot of these things, and definitely a good communication is needed. If you want to get into human resource, a very good communication is needed, good interpersonal skill is needed as in marketing, and a planning and supervision quality is to be superb if you actually want to get into human resource, because they are very, very important resource. And if you're into recruitment, you need to roam to good places to hire people, good colleges to hire employees, and then you need to do a lot of work to retain those good premium quality manpower. So this is what human resource domain is all about, where you need to ensure that your planning and supervision and people skill are at the best. And there are many specific colleges where you can do HR specialization. XLR is one of them. So I will be uploading more videos where I will be talking more about colleges which specializes human resource, which specializes in marketing, which specializes in operation, and which specializes in IT and all that. So my dear friends, if you're liking my video, take your time to understand and then like this video and subscribe to my channel to motivate me. Give me a thumbs up and then we can actually go ahead. So the roles which you get into human resource are recruiting, training people, performances updates, employee policies has to be made, salaries and other benefits, which includes increments and other thing. I mean, this is all a part of a human resource. Already finance also comes into picture, but the actual planning is done by human resource people, and then that is implemented by a financial people. So a human resource manager is responsible for making sure that the employee are working in a healthy environment, their salaries are paid on time, they're deciding which employee will work in the morning shift or night shift and all that. And and HR is a universal, like marketing is universal domain, HR is also universal domain, and each and every company require a HR people at different levels. So they are also having a hierarchy from where you get into executive part, then you get to manager, and then VP and all that. So that is what the roles comes into picture. So now we are quickly getting into operation management. So operation management is more or less like supply chain system. So operation management more deals with the supply chain system. So and it's very core function. So where you and those people who are having a BTech or operation background or experience in operations can actually do this specialization, and this is a very niche segment, and it involves activities like creations, productions, distribution and delivery for the goods and services which an organization produces. And today is a world where goods and services has to be delivered from one place to another. So not within a country, it's outside of country also. So operation becomes a very major domain which you can actually specialize in and you can look forward to. But experience or learning in a prior environment is absolute if you actually want to get into operation management. So the roles which you actually get into operation management, so basically it is into material and supply chain, or it could be quality control, logistics, inventories, procurements, distributions. So the fancy name for those will be procurement manager, distribution manager, supply chain manager, sales operation head, production managers, quality control managers, and so forth. And BTech people, a lot of BTech people actually goes into operation management who have such kind of understanding of these stuffs. And in fact, a lot of normal graduates who actually work into these kind of roles also get into operations. So that is why I said it is very niche segment. And the last one is MBA in IT, information system. And information IT is something a very buzzing kind of domain where everybody is willing to go into and make his or her career into. So IT is a domain which is actually very popular. Why? Because everybody nowadays studies IT programs, languages and understanding. So basically an IT people is required to ensure that all these people, either finance or marketing or operations or other HR, they all can function smoothly by using the computers and their applications. So an IT people also should have a good into mathematics, because again computers is somewhere related to number crunching. So maths is something which if you're good at, you can think of IT. If you're having a background of BCA, MCA, BTech, you can definitely go forward and do an MBA and IT program and see yourself scaling highs and highs. A very, very common and popular program around the globe. So the roles which you actually get after doing an MBA in IT would be like data scientist, data analyst, information system manager, IT consultant, and database administrator. So these are the specific role. Again, emphasis on the same fact that you might need to do some additional certification. Like if you want to get into database administration, you might consider getting into SAP or Oracle, something like that. If you want to get into data scientist, you might want to get a additional certification into data scientist and all that. So apart from MBA, if you are having some relative experience or relative certification, that is going to help you out in getting a better job profile. So this is what summarize the entire gamut of specialization which is there existing into a management program, not specifically an MBA. It could be an MBA, PGDM or a PGPM. And MBA is a generic word, that is why it has been used. So my dear friends, you are free to subscribe my channel, like my video. You can ask questions in the comment section. I will be happy to reply it, and feel free to comment so that I can also improve in the overall presentation. We'll meet in next video. Till then, take care. Good night. Shubhratri. Jai Hind.